How is it going, everyone? The PlayStation Store's summer sale is coming to an end. Yes, it's been running for a month now. A little under a month, actually. Deals have been cycling in and out. You guys get the whole deal. Want to highlight some deals under the price of $10. A lot of great deals across this sale, so let's get right into it. And let's start things off with a great one. We have Weird West Definitive Edition, which is 75% off for $9.99. Honestly, this might be one of the best deals across the entirety of this sale. I reviewed this game last year when it initially came out, and I had a lot of good things to say about it. Is it perfect? No. It's got some clunkiness, it's got some bugs and glitches, but Weird West is a game that has a sizable amount of depth to it, and what I really appreciated about the game is the fact that there's quite a bit of decision making in the game, but the imperative thing is that it's decision making with consequences, so you feel the impact of said decisions throughout the entirety of the game, leading it to be relatively replayable as well. I had a great time with it. The $40 price tag may have been a bit much, but now at $9.99 it's a great RPG. And you can get, 30 to 40 hours of gameplay out of it, and it's replayable. You do have a game trial available for Plus Premium subscribers, so you can play 2 hours of it for free if you do want, and $9.99, no-brainer there, definitely a high recommendation there. Next up, we have Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen, 83% off for $5.09. It's actually been a little bit cheaper. It's been like $4 and change, but Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen is a really solid open-world action RPG that does have some challenge to it. It's not a game for everyone at this point, given the fact that it is, over a decade old, which is wild to think about, but it's a game that obviously is held in regard by many people, high regard, I should say, because of its implementation of a lot of its gameplay systems. I thought it worked out well. It does show its age, Dragon's Dogma 2, obviously on the horizon, so now wouldn't be a bad time, I should say, to check out Dragon's Dogma 1. It's just, it is a PlayStation 3 game. It is uplifted a little bit on the PS4, but it's still a solid game, all things considered. $5.09, good pickup on that. Next up, Borderlands The Handsome Collection, 75% off for $9.99. You got Borderlands 2 in the pre-sequel, and most of the game's respective DLCs. Borderlands 2 is great. It's really, in my opinion, where Borderlands peaked, and Borderlands the pre-sequel is a solid, extra title. It's a lot more of the same, but it's still pretty decent. Borderlands 2 is where it's at, though, in my opinion. That is the pinnacle of Borderlands, and a game that I can still go back to today and have a good time with it. And bear in mind, Borderlands 2 came out back in like 2012. It's crazy how long it's been since that game came out. Obviously, you do have Borderlands Legendary Collection as well at $19.99. That includes Borderlands 1 Remastered as well, so you can check that out. Handsome Collection, if you want to stay on a budget, I think is a great pickup at $9.99. And usually, I believe Borderlands 1 Remastered goes on sale for like sub $10, so when it does go on sale, you can just get it for essentially the same price that you would be paying for the Legendary Collection anyway. So, solid pickup here. And as I've always said about Borderlands, I don't think it's necessary for you to play the game cooperatively. Does it make the game enjoyable? More enjoyable even? Sure, but it's still a fine game to play solo, and a great time, all things considered there. Next up, Resident Evil 2, 75% off for $9.99. Now, if you do have a PC right now, Humble Bundle's got a great bundle with a lot of Resident Evil titles. Go pick that up because that's a disgustingly good deal, but otherwise, RE2 is a no-brainer here. Really started the Resident Evil remake train with a bang. Better than the Resident Evil 3 remake. RE2 is one of the best remakes and one of the standard bearers for remakes, and then Capcom literally outdid themselves with the Resident Evil 4 remake, but Resident Evil 2, a great game here. Atmosphere is great, and a real solid remake of a game that, from the PS1 era, it's not a game that I grew up with, but I know from a lot of other people that did play Resident Evil 2 back in the day, they really liked how this remake was done, and I had a fantastic time with it, so $9.99, definitely a good buy there, and has a PS5 upgrade that's quite good. Next up, Dragon Age Inquisition Game of the Year Edition, 75% off for $9.99. A lot of people will say that this was BioWare's last truly great game, and I'm kind of in agreement with that outside of the Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Dragon Age Inquisition I thought was a solid game. Was it as good as like Dragon Age Origins? No, I would say it's better than Dragon Age 2, but Dragon Age Inquisition is still solid. Visually, it still looks great. The Game of the Year Edition obviously has a sizable amount of bonus content. I like the gameplay style to the game. And story was fairly decent. A lot of content, of course. For a 2014 RPG, RPGs accelerate at a very rapid pace, and I still think Inquisition holds up rather strongly. $9.99 is a great buy here. Next up, we have the Assassin's Creed, the Ezio Collection, $9.99 for this. Now, all three of these games are free to play for the weekend, so if you do want to check them out without dropping any money, now's a good time to do so. They are also all available on PlayStation Plus Extra. Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, Revelations, I mean, The Ezio trilogy is tremendous. There's a reason why Ezio is probably the most revered character in Assassin's Creed history. I mean, I myself am an Edward Kenway guy, but Ezio is tremendous as well. AC2 is still a fantastic game. I liked Brotherhood, albeit Brotherhood was just stupid easy in terms of the combat system. That game was just so easy to go through. And Revelations is alright. I thought by Revelations, I was like, alright, Ezio, I'm kind of done with your story. But the Altair gimmick then there did add another flavor to it. So, you know, it's still great. $9.99 for all the games is a fantastic pickup. Next up, we have the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Special Edition, 75% off for $9.99. I mean, it's Skyrim. It's one of the best games of all time, in my humble opinion. It's a game that I've completed an absurd number of times, and more, you know, shameful to admit, it's a game that I've probably bought more than I've completed. I think that's a lie, but, like, it goes to show that I've bought this game a stupid amount of times, but I wouldn't change a thing. It's a great game, and I love the setting, love the world, and obviously on PlayStation 5 runs a little bit better. You got the bonus content here with the Special Edition. If you do want to check out the Anniversary Edition, that goes on sale for like $20, but I think the Special Edition is a fine pickup. Next up, Prototype 2, $7.99 on this one. Prototype 2 is a solid follow-up to Prototype, and really, I thought a better game than Prototype 1, but I guess they just decided after Prototype 2, yeah, we're done with this IP. Once again, really does go into full effect with the over-the-top superpowers, and I thought they did a great job here with that. Prototype's never going to be one of those IPs that I think is absolutely revered, but if you want a fun, no-nonsense open-world game, like, I feel like Prototype is always going to offer you that, and Prototype 2 for $8 is a pretty good buy. Next up, another Resident Evil title, RE7 Biohazard, $7.99. I mean, it's Resident Evil 7, really brought Resident Evil back to the forefront after Resident Evil 6 was, let's just say, a little bit mid, but RE7 was great. The VR component to this game is tremendous. I had a friend that was not even into gaming at all, and they wanted to check out RE7 through VR, and let's just say they're never gonna play it again because she got a little bit spooked by it, but I digress. Resident Evil 7 is a great time, and for $7.99, I think it's a great pickup. If you want to get into Resident Evil, this isn't a bad place to start, and I think a lot of you guys would end up enjoying it, even if you're not super into survival horror games. Like, I got buddies that I've been trying to sell on Resident Evil for seemingly years, and even after the reception of, like, some of these recent titles, they still won't buy them just because they're like, I'm not into horror games, and I get it. You know, horror is a genre that's not going to be for everyone, but I just think Resident Evil is at such a high level these days that, you know, you owe it to yourself to check out RE7, Village, the 4 remake, the 2 remake, etc., etc. Next up, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy, 67% off for $9.89. I mean, it's the Phoenix Wright games. If you're into visual novels, you'll enjoy these. If you're not, I mean, these are a good set of games to get into visual novels, and they're pretty iconic in their own right, so I would check them out. $9.89 is a good price where, you know, not too big of a risk, and I think ultimately you guys would be surprised how much you can end up enjoying visual novels. Look, back before I tried out Danganronpa, visual novels were something that I thought I would never get into, but Danganronpa changed everything for me. Is it my favorite genre in the world? No, but I like my narrative-driven games, and Phoenix Wright is a pretty darn good one. Next up, Kingdom Come Deliverance Royal Edition, 80% off for $7.99. It's KCD with all of the DLC. I think this is one of the most, I should say, underrated RPGs on the market. Not one of the most RPGs, but underrated RPGs on the market. It's a really good throwback from a historical setting standpoint, and I like the vibe the game offered. Really mature in tone. Definitely not for everyone with some of the realistic elements to the game, but I had a good time with it. With the Royal Edition, you got all the bonus DLC. It's $8. Like, try it out if you like the setting and the vibe of the game. I think that's an element that can really engage a lot of people into Kingdom Come Deliverance, so check it out. I think some of you guys will be pleasantly surprised. Bayonetta is $7.49. I mean, it's a classic action title done by Platinum Games. Just wish we could get the other Bayonetta titles on PlayStation, but I believe those two titles are Nintendo published, so good luck with that one. But yeah, Bayonetta 1 still a solid one for $7.49. Ni no Kuni Wrath of the White Witch Remastered, $9.99. Great JRPG, awesome art style. It's a pretty good one to get into the genre, in my opinion, as well. You know, story's pretty good, characters are likable, and for sub $10, a good pickup. And then lastly, Kingdoms of Amalur: Ray Reckoning is 75% off for $9.99. Now, this is in Plus Premium. It's a Plus Essential game. I want to say like a year back or something like that. I really enjoyed Kingdoms of Amalur. I know some people that like absolutely despise this game. I like the combat system. I like the more action-y focus to it. The story is like pretty pretty bland and really not that great, but the gameplay I thought was really enjoyable, good amount of content, and for $9.99 I think it's a good buy. Curious to see how this did from a commercial standpoint. I haven't heard much about that, but I wonder if they would ever consider a sequel. But given that this game, I believe, bankrupted the studio that was developing it, like, I don't know if a sequel is in the cards, but nevertheless, THQ Nordic at least doing a good job of bringing these older titles back into the fold. But that'll do it for me. Again, a lot of great deals with the summer sale wrapping up. Links to all of these in the description box down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.